would, you could start with introducing yourself, saying who you are, a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what you do.
Sure. Okay. So my name is Bridget Cady. I am a musician. I'm a singer. I'm a mama. I am literally, wear many, many hats. And yeah, so what else? What were the other questions?
That's funny. Where are you from?
Uh-huh. Got that. I'm from New York, baby.
Got it. What part of New York?
From Manhattan, from New York.
Oh,
Manhattan,
that's the nice part.
It is. It's the very busy part. It's awesome.
Wow.
Yes.
You're fortunate to have been born there.
It's good. It's good. We grow up a different way. I will say that. It's not like, the suburbs and, you have squirrels in the morning. Ooh! You have squirrels in the morning, and it's like, in New York, it's like you have rats. It's just a little different.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's a lot of concrete, but it's all good. It's good.
What do they call New York? The concrete jungle? Is that what
concrete jungle? They do. And
I know nothing about New York.
Oh my gosh, it's you kind of grow up fast. You grow up with sort of having sort of that, I don't know, that knowledge of just, you kind of know your surroundings a bit better. I know this as a New Yorker. I can go anywhere in the world, and you just know there's so many people around, you know who to look out for, and you always hold on to your purse. Don't put your purse down. You hear me?
I hear you.
You hold on to that purse.
Like my baby.
That's right. That's right. Hold on to that baby. Hold on to the purse.
All your belongings.
Everything.
Oh my God. How did you get into singing in the first place, and what age did you start singing?
Long story short, I was originally going to be a professional tennis player.
Really?
And I trained every single day as a child.
Wow.
Like my dad, I played for Reebok.
Okay.
I was going to be a professional tennis player, and I was close to becoming a professional tennis player. And I actually broke my back.
Oh no.
And I remember when I was winning, like, if I was in a tournament or whatever, and I was like losing, I start singing, and next thing you know, I'm like winning the whole match, and I was musically inclined from day one. But I broke my back, and the recovery period was quite long. So, and I was paralyzed. I couldn't move.
Oh my God.
All I could do was just lie in bed and move my hands. And
wow.
Yeah, I had to learn how to walk again. It was pretty intense.
Oh
and I was about, at the time, I was 13, 14.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
So young.
So I had the surgery done in Germany. So I was just like, oh, well, I guess I'll sing. I'll just sing all day in the bed. And it gave me some time to sort of focus on my voice. I was like, I can sing like these people better than some of these people on the radio. I said,
okay.
I was so involved with tennis. I kind of put the singing
on the back burner.
It just wasn't. Even though my grandfather was like this opera singer, I just never put it together, so when I had that time sort of recovering, I'm like, I think I should pursue this a little bit, look into this a bit more, and see what happens. So that's when I acknowledged that I was actually a really good singer. And then when I got a bit better, I started doing like demo. My first paid job, I was, oh my gosh, 15, and I was doing like demos for Whitney Houston and Madonna when I was young.
That's amazing.
Isn't that crazy? And it was this really big producer in Manhattan. I used to go to his house, and he'd say, okay, this is the demo, this is the thing, and sing whatever it was that he wanted me to sing. And I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good. It made me happy. Yes, indeed.
He's trying to sing too, because he's getting excited by this conversation.
I know.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But that's how it started.
That's amazing. I didn't know that you was into tennis, that you were even a tennis player and all of that. Like, so you went from like an athletic career to a musical career. Like I'm just mind blown.
Yeah, I was like number one, like on the East Coast.
Wow.
In terms of tennis, and I was serious. I was into it. And it's amazing how life just gets in the way and just changes your path, So I'm thinking, oh, tennis player. Oh, wait a minute. Rewind.
Yep, this is what you really should be doing.
This is what I'm thinking. And it was good on my soul. Like it felt even better than tennis.
Wow.
So I knew it was definitely my calling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So you mentioned that, when you had broken your back and you were paralyzed in the hospital, like, so that was like at age 13 or 14?
Yeah.
So was that also the time that you would say you actually started like getting into singing like as a hobby?
Pretty much, because I couldn't do anything else but write and sing.
Wow.
And that was pretty much it. I just remember saying, yeah, this is where I'm going to go. This is, I mean, I could continue with my tennis career, but you kind of know sometimes where you're supposed to, the path,
That's true. Did you ever have any like vocal coaching or singing lessons as a kid, or were you just completely self-taught? Like you just had the voice?
Well, I just had it.
Wow.
Since I was a kid. Apparently when I was 2 or something, I used to sing like the blues, like you used to sing the blues.
Oh no, don't put me on the spot now.
Oh my goodness. I won't, nothing.
No, it's okay.
And I used to, my grandmother used to like have me go to friends' houses, and I used to be like, how about a man? Like she used to make me say that, this is a man. Because I probably had this little teeny 2-year-old voice.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember at all, But it's just something that I always had, and I took a singing lesson before.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, it was the most boring thing I've ever, it was so boring.
Oh no.
It's good to know how to exercise your voice and to, how to keep it conditioned, so to speak. It's very good to have that knowledge. But the problem was the teacher that I had at the time, I wasn't into singing like Phantom of the Opera. I wanted to sing the music that I wanted to sing. And because I was singing music I wasn't interested in, I just lost interest in singing lessons. And that's fine, because I already had it. I already knew how to, at the time, I felt confident in knowing my voice.
Yeah. I mean, not many people can say that they just, already had, I guess, the voice without much. He's making faces at you. Say hi. No, it's okay. Not many people can say that, like, they already had, like the voice before they got singing lessons or anything. A lot of people actually need singing lessons to be able to know how to sing. But it seems like you kind of already basically had an idea. You just had to learn how to condition your voice.
It was just innate. I think it's just genetics. My grandfather was an opera singer, so he was really quite famous, and he toured the world singing opera everywhere. And the funny thing is, I've actually sang at some of the theaters that he sang at, and I go like, I think it was in Spain specifically. There's a big poster, and his name was on the wall from where he actually performed at the same theater I was performing at. Very famous. So it's nice to kind of walk in his footsteps, and yeah, I was lucky enough to just have it in me, have that talent.
That's really cool. So I know we've been talking a lot about singing and your past and how you first started originally with tennis as your, like, what you were gonna do, and then you found, you didn't found singing, I guess found you.
Right.
Yes. Right. So now I wanted to talk a little bit about motherhood.
Yeah, please.
When did you become a mom officially?
Cameron was born 2009. I believe I was. Ooh. You don't have to erase that one, but no. Yeah, it was 2009. I became a mom to Cameron, and he was the most amazing, just easy baby that you could, just the best. And he still is the best son in the entire world.
Aw. What was it like before and after your singing career? Like, as far as, were you already like established before you gave birth to Cameron, or were you like in the middle of it?
When I had Cameron, I stopped working when I was, I want to say 8 months pregnant. My last show was in South Africa. It was, I was 8 months pregnant. It was like my last bit. Woo. And my stomach was like out to here. I had the waddle down, boy. I had the waddle down.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember in South Africa going, okay, just hold it, just stay in there, move. Don't come out yet. Just, we're gonna be home soon. And we went to this beach and they had all these, I think it's Boulder Beach, it's called, in South Africa.
Oh wow.
And they had these penguins everywhere, and the penguins were doing a wild. I was like, oh yeah, I can do it too. And I took pictures. Oh my god! Yeah, it was literally in the middle of a tour with Rod Stewart.
Wow.
In South Africa, and he waited. So when I came back, I birthed him in Los Angeles in California.
Okay, so he's born in LA. I didn't know that.
Born in LA. Wow. And then I started working again, and
wow.
Yeah, so I gave it time, of course. I wish we had more time as women, especially in this country. I think other countries are very blessed. The government gives them time, and sometimes they give the father time too, the whole family.
Wow.
But I had time. I was very lucky. And we when I started working again, I remember I took him to London, and we had a big show in Hyde Park. I think that was his first gig. He was about 3 months old. We flew to London, and he has family there. So they came and they, looked after him, and while I was on stage, and 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 then I've toured with my son before, and we've gone everywhere from London to Poland to Germany to pretty much everywhere. And it was the most amazing experience for both of us. As a mother, it's amazing, but you have times where you're like, oh my gosh, when I'm on stage, when I need that time, my mom was always there for me. She'd come to the show. She'd watch him when I was on stage. Or I'd have to hire a babysitter in advance in different countries to watch my son, literally during the time I was on stage, because he just sat on my lap. I did my makeup, and the babysitter, I'd have security and stuff around them, because you never know. And I'd have like reputable babysitters around the world, and they just watch him for like the 2 hours, and then we just go back to the hotel, or and it was great. It worked out.
Wow, that's really awesome. Like, man, I feel like Cammy is spoiled.
Cammy has freaking flyer miles at like 6 months old, man. I tell you.
Oh man,
and
that's awesome.
Yeah, and like he's 13 now, and he's like, Mom, I remember that time we went to Spain and I tried sea urchin, or like, remember that time we went? And I'm like, yes, and those are memories that we'll have forever.
Yeah, that's true. From what you're telling me, you're able to like include Cameron with like all your experiences as far as traveling, and even your performing. For the most part, he got to experience all that with you. So he's like inclusive with like your journey and your career. So like that's really awesome.
Really good. It changes when they kind of start school. Yeah. And so for the school months, of course my mom would come out, and she'd always be there to help me. Yeah. So wherever we were, or even if it was just at home. She was there to help me every time.
Yeah.
And then I'd come back and I'd see my angel face. And I remember at one point the school, I think he was in fifth grade, fifth or fourth grade. I can't remember, fifth or fourth grade. And I had to do a tour for like 6 months, and 6 weeks. And I was like, oh,
I was like, 6 months, a long time.
That's a long time. And I was like, 6 weeks, I'm gonna miss my angel. And I spoke to the school and they said, you know what, he'll get a better education with you. So they basically wrote a letter stating that it was okay for him to come with me on tour, and they gave him homework packs and stuff that we did on the road. And they said, like, the education from him seeing the world is better than what we're going to give him here. So such a blessing. Hi.
That's awesome.
But you have your challenging moments. Everything works out. And a lot of women are afraid to have children because they love their career so much. Yeah. And they're like, oh, it's totally going to affect your career.
Yeah.
It makes it harder, but it's better. It makes your life so much better. I say go for it. And if your job doesn't like it, then your job doesn't deserve you.
Amen.
Right. Because that's facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I love that you just said that, because literally I was one of those women who was like literally terrified when I found that I was pregnant. So I was like, because I was just like in the beginning stages of like starting my photography business. So I was like, oh, how is this gonna affect everything? How am I gonna have time for everything? But you find a way.
God makes it possible. You find a way, and everything works out. It really does.
Yeah.
And it's like, why worry twice? Just go for it. It's going to iron out.
So what advice do you have for other moms out there who may feel guilty to pursue their dreams or passions? What would you say?
It's called juggling.
I know that word very well.
You, as a mom, you honestly, you wear many hats. You're an octopus. You got 20 arms. It's like, and to be honest with you, it's everything works out. It's important to have a support system around you.
Oh, yeah.
I know on tour, I was able to bring my son, my youngest, with me at the time. And I just have my mom come out and she babysit when I was on stage. Other than that, I was just hands-on. So it was literally like, the 3 hours, 4 hours that I was on, I had to get ready and, be on stage. My mom would look after him, and it just made life so much easier. You have to be good at being able to hold a conversation on the phone while the baby is like tugging at your ears. And you have to stay professional, but you get it done, right? You get it done. And a lot of women I know are, they're really afraid to have family in my industry, especially because they just don't know how they're going to do it. But, God always comes through and opens doors and shows you a way. And makes things work for you. It can be stressful at times, but it works out. Most important thing is if you have a passion, you can't just dim your light. You can't just put it out because it makes you unhappy. Right. Your kids love you when you're happy. They love you even more. You're a better mom when you're happy. Yeah. You're not bad for working. You're not guilty for taking time for yourself. You have to do these things for your mental health and to support your family financially. Right?
Amen.
Yeah, that's right. I've had both sides of the story where people be like, you have kids, you have to stop working. No, God will find a way. He gave me this voice, and he gave me all these platforms. He gave them to me. So you know what? He's going to make it work. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's very
Even though you look like this, sometimes doing it, but it works out, right?
You know, that find time to create, record, and write songs or write your music. Is it difficult sometimes with your other responsibilities?
Sometimes I don't have the help, and
yeah,
you know, my son is fine and I can get it done. You know, he's just like quiet and sitting on my lap, and I'm like, hallelujah. Hallelujah. But it worked again, it works out. Daggone it. It works out.
That was great. Oh man. So what advice do you have for other moms out there who may feel guilty to pursue their dreams or passions? What would you say?
Don't be the one saying, oh, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that. Because there's nothing worse than just, you know, next thing you look and you're like 80 years old and you're pretty much in the same position that you were in before, and you always had opportunity, but you just never took it because you were afraid to do so. Don't be afraid. Things present themselves for a reason, and you know, if it's, you know, allow it to happen. Don't hold back. Those are called fears that stops you from reaching any goal.